Alright guys, about to go for a drive here real quick. Trying to fix the boost lines. I had like Ghetto Fabulous some stuff. I just put a bunch of DEI heat wrap around freaking everything. Anywhere I could find it to wrap it, I put it. And yes, I know I took the filter off. You can see the turbo just still whistling and spinning right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna test this out. I still have really bad power steering pump whine. I'm gonna figure out when I get back how to flush it. I've never done that before, so I'm gonna try flushing it out. But yeah, car sounds pretty good. Cams aren't that loud. I mean, can you guys hear that? It's nothing crazy by any stretch of the means. Sits there, that's about as loud as it gets right now, and the wind's coming through. It's about to storm here, so. But yeah, pretty excited. I'm gonna go for a drive, do a little in-car. Wow, the power steering pump is. This is by far the worst it's been. I'm not sure why it's so bad today. Really bad, holy cow. Now I got the front jacked up. I'm gonna try and fix this power steering issue. I still can't figure out my boost lines. There's nothing leaking this time. I make a first gear pull, fantastic. Second time I make a pull, it just goes back to spring pressure every time. I don't know why. I'm not even eating through the vacuum lines now. I just double checked them. But yeah, I made one pull, fantastic. Went to go make a second pull and it was back to spring pressure. So I assumed I ate through them again. Nothing. It didn't eat through them. So maybe it's not, I mean, I have no idea. It doesn't want to hold more than one time. Like it'll hit 18, 19 PSI. Then after that, it just wants to do spring pressure. No idea why. So guys, right now, I am draining the power steering fluid out. If you guys can see here, just dripping out right now. I made sure to drive the car too, the warmer it was, so all of it would come out. It wouldn't come out thick, even though power steering fluid is, well, you have to use automatic transmission fluid. I think it's Dextron 2, but you can't even buy that at the store anymore, so I'm using Dextron 5. But I want to get every bit out, and you can see it's dripping just the last little bit out there. To get that hose off, though, I bought these at Harbor Freight, guys. They're literally hose pullers. These work fantastic. I don't know how many times hoses have gotten stuck for me, and you just don't have the leverage. These give you that extra leverage, and dude, everything pops off so much easier. I think I bought a set of 3 of these. It comes in these like 3 different sizes for the hose clamps. And I believe that was, I want to say it was like $8 or $9. They're so cheap and they work fantastic for especially the do-it-yourselfer. I apologize for me sniffling, guys. My allergies are horrible right now, so just bear with me here. Alright guys, next here, I actually cut this piece of hose off. Don't mind my man flops here. I only wear flip-flops in the summer because I'm a homo. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to take this fuel hose here and attach it to the end because I'm going to actually turn the power steering or turn the car on, and that fluid's going to shoot out. So I don't want it to do that, so I'm going to attach it to the end and shoot it down inside the bucket here. See if I get my fat ass down here real quick. See if this hose is even big enough. So I will say one thing, guys. I like my Powerhouse Racing power steering fluid reservoir. Very neat, but it has a filter inside. They must have welded it together with the filter inside of it because the filter literally is too big for the hole, so I had to smash it using extended pliers and smash it down and then use a magnet just to barely pull it out the top. And the reason I did was I had really bad power steering pump whine. People said, oh, you could have a dirty filter. It can't be that bad. Only a couple thousand miles. This was white, like white. It's completely covered in like black. So that just shows you how bad it was. So I'm going to flush the system here and go from there. But yeah, it was really bad. Way worse than I thought it was. So what you saw was I went ahead and bled the power steering system. And I'm about to turn it back on here to make sure it's still not squealing. I got a couple other things going here today. Some good news. Hopefully it's a lot of good news. So a little bit of positivity from my mostly negative lately channel. So we'll just kind of try and fix that, you know, rhetoric. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try to turn the car on and see if it's still squealing. Well, I just turned it on. No squeal. So that's what it needed. But another thing, good news here, and well, bad stuff. So if you guys saw, the filter I had in it was clogged. I'm not sure if I took video of that or not. It's like completely, like disgustingly has a clog inside of it. So if you have a stock TT pump or if you have an NA reservoir pump on it, or not pump, I guess the reservoir canister, they're actually hollow. There's nothing inside of them. But with the Powerhouse Racing one, they actually put a filter in it, and good thing they did. They started doing it. It was full of metal and like debris and shit, and I went and cleaned it out. I think that was actually causing the squeal. The problem is I have the older style, and when I posted about it, everyone's like, that's not serviceable. And I'm like, well, shit, now what do I do? Brian from Powerhouse Racing got on there and goes, dude, I'll take care of it tomorrow. Hit me up. Call him. He goes, look, can't give you anything for free, but he's like, I'll give it to you what our cost is. He's like, I'll just send it to you. And he's sending me a what is it called? I can't even think of what it's called right now. Oh, cam sensor delete plug. He sent me one of those too, so some more Powerhouse Racing goodies for a car that's covered in their stuff as it is. So pretty excited. I always like getting their products because it's like one of the few companies that you get it, you don't have to fuck with it. Like it literally bolts up, comes with everything. I love the fact that their shit is 100% plug and play. They take out any factors that like me screwing it up for the most part. And I really like their products. Right on the car right now, that's their intake. That is their hard pipe. Oh my God, their power steering overflow. I had an oil relocation kit. I actually got rid of it. I don't know why I did. Oh, that's right, because I didn't have a get drag and it wouldn't bolt to the R154. There's a bunch of other stuff on here. I always forget what it is though. Oh, this billet fitting here off the power steering pump. That's from them. There's a bunch of like little random stuff from them I always forget about. So yeah, now next up, I might have some good news. I was told about an oil dye kit. So what I can do is clean off all the seals everywhere possible and put this dye in and see exactly where the oil is coming from. Let it run for, probably gonna let it run for a half an hour, if not longer, here in the garage, which is kind of gonna suck because my neighbor's gonna hate me with that cam sitting there loping a little bit, but I have to do it and I need to be able to see it and get up underneath the car, so I wanna leave it up on jack stands. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, clean everything down as best I can. I talked to Brian at Powerhouse Racing. He said he's been following this for a while. His theory was, he's like, I've honestly never had one leak. He said, honestly, he's like, he saw what I did, and he said, what you did was fine. He said, I can almost tell you it's coming from somewhere above, which could be right, because since I've cleaned it, I really haven't seen much more residue. He said, when that stuff drips down, it tends to follow the line around the pans and stuff, and it just looks like it's leaking from there, even though it's not. And I didn't think about that, but he could be right, because it was actually, there was oil coming from the top filter housing. There's nothing coming from anywhere else, but there was oil coming from the filter housing. So it could have been dripping down and going on that side of the oil pan, because the next thing is the passenger side has no oil residue. Like there's nothing on it. So that wouldn't make any sense. There's nothing on the front half of the engine either. Where the front main seal and stuff is, there's nothing there. It's only on the driver's side / going towards the back where, you know, the wind and stuff's pulling it that way. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this dye in here and I'll show you guys actually what it is. So guys, here's the dye. You can get this from Advanced Auto. It's a couple bucks. You just put this in your oil. It doesn't really hurt anything per se. It does need to be activated, so the only problem is you do need a UV light, which I got this from Advanced Auto, which was a little salty. I'm probably going to end up returning this because it was way too much for what I thought it should have been. This was like $4 or $5. This was no big deal. This was like 25 bucks at Advanced Auto. So if you're trying to hunt down an oil leak, this is actually a really neat idea, and I didn't know about it. Another thing, guys, I went ahead and bought more heat shielding. I keep burning through my vacuum lines. So I want to test out more heat shielding on it, and if not, I'm actually going to end up going to, say, probably stainless steel hard lines, because I wonder if I still have it back here. Do I have any more? Do I have? Yeah, if you guys can see there's stainless steel hard line there that I use for my brakes. Probably use some of that and yeah, make some more. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of this dye in here, so let's open up the package. All right, just clearing off all the seals, and I just put the dye in the motor. Only thing I can do now is let it run, but I still, just being down there again, I don't see it dripping from anywhere else. I mean, I'm looking all over, and I just don't see where it could be coming from unless it's coming from that oil pan sensor. I guess the oil pan sensor O-ring could be bad. I didn't replace it, so I mean, could be that, but it seems like it's coming from up top a little bit too. Like it must be splashing out somehow, or because it's filling up that little reservoir area there. I mean, that's a good bit of oil. So I don't know. I'm gonna give this a shot here, let it run, and gonna check the dye test and go from there. All right, guys, got the car running and idling right now. Sorry if the audio quality comes out crappy because this car is loud and I'm inside the garage. Got the dye in, gonna let it run right now. Got the batteries in the little light now. This is actually all that bad. I kind of like the fact that it's a LED on one side, not LED, but I guess ultraviolet light. Then the other side's a normal light, which is kind of nice if you're trying to hunt around what you're doing. So won't be able to really see anything till it gets dark out, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm gonna have to wait till later tonight and go from there. The dye's like this brownish reddish color. It's weird. So they said it'll show up though once I start to go look through everything. I kind of went outside to see how bad the car is. It's not too overly loud. I mean, it's loud, but it's not too overbearing that my neighbors are going to shoot me. Luckily, I mean, my neighbors are pretty close. I'm not attached to my neighbors, but it's not too terribly bad. I'm not sure how bad you guys can even hear this over my voice right now. But luckily, I guess I'm kind of glad I don't have the cam loping too hard now, because I mean, it'd probably be a lot worse and a lot more annoying. Gotta take Cody now for a drive real quick. Real crackly, got the AC on, that shit cold. It feel good. I got like no air out of this vent, ton out of this one. You got a bunch out of this?
Yeah, we good on this side. Jesus Christ. There's my mom and dad.
Really? Not building full boost still, I don't know why. That's like, it's missing like 200 horsepower.
It's still really fast.
Doesn't feel like it. Well, I mean, if you don't realize it, but like to me, I'm like, I know it's missing power. Ready?
Wow.
All right, so got myself a blue moon today since someone was bitching about me having Yingling light. Sorry, man, I have like a fear of getting fat, bro. Like, fucking lay off me. So let's go ahead and crack this bad boy. But it didn't quite pop off. Hold on. I got this. I hurt myself. I probably need to start drinking so much because I'm starting to blow up a little bit, gaining a little bit more weight than I want to, but it's like, there's two sides to everything. Ryan, keep drinking. Don't be a fucking homo. Dude, don't tell me what to fucking do. Don't be such a pussy. Have a beer. Bro, I don't want a beer. Like, don't tell me what to do. You're a wuss. Gross and balls. Learn to America. Valid point. You win, sir. See what I'm saying? Like, there's two sides to everything, but the side with beer always wins. So, you know, America. Anyways, so power steering seems to be fixed now. Unfortunately, I did put the dye in, and guys, it is leaking from the oil pan. Fuck me, right? Like, seriously, fuck me. So, I gotta yank the entire engine again. The only issue is, I don't know what to do. I literally took video of everything. I talked to Brian at Powerhouse Racing, and he pretty much said, dude, he's like, you did everything right. He's like, I have no idea why it's leaking. I heard some people say about, oh, you need to set it for tack time. If you've ever used FIPG, you have about 15 minutes till you put it on. They don't have, maybe some of these other ones have tack time. They tell you right in the book, like, as soon as you get it done, throw that bitch on and start cranking it down to the correct foot-pounds, because you do not want that setting up and then drying. So, unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I mean, when I mean I clean the surfaces, I do everything. I even had a friend do it exactly the same way I did mine in his leak. So, I don't know what's causing the problem. I would get the lower pan. That would actually make sense to me. But the upper pan, that doesn't make any sense to me. The upper pan makes no sense. Lower pan, because it's stamped steel, when you go to pry it off, you can bend it. The aluminum one is very thick aluminum, and what it is what it is. I mean, I scuff it completely clean, like there's nothing left, and I hit it with brake cleaner over and over again. A couple engine builders say they use brake cleaner or they use acetone, but they said there's nothing wrong with brake cleaner. I heard a couple people say, oh, right there's where you fucked up. No, you internet warriors. You're not always right for this and that because you want to think so. I mean, I did everything right there. I think there has to be another stemming issue I just don't know about. I kept thinking crankcase pressure, but kind of like everyone else is telling me, or kind of like, I kept starting to get with actual engine builders that would give me feedback. Any 2JZ engine builders would be like, look, if you had really bad crankcase pressure, your front main seal or your rear main seal would go out. And he said, you have a stock oil pump, definitely your front main seal, and I have no issue there. There's no oil leaks up on the front half of the oil pan, or the passenger side of the oil pan has 0 leaks, guys. None, nada, zip. And fuck me, right? I guess it is what it is. I'm trying to curse less too, because I heard a couple people comment and said they have children watching this now, which is kind of cool. I guess having their kids watch along to learn this stuff is kind of neat. So I will cut down the cursing. Not cutting down on beer yet. It's going to be a long while. But I'll try to cut down on cursing. Yeah, so guess I'm going to have to yank the old motor and figure out what to do. I could always replace the upper and the lower pan, but the upper pan is $550 and the lower pan is $176 for an aluminum and a stamped steel pan. Fuck me running. And I just cursed again. Dang it. Ugh. It's so hard. It's so engraved in me. Such white trash, Ryan. Such white trash. So that's where I'm at with that. Power steering's fixed, which is pretty sweet. Doesn't whine like a little girl. I think I mentioned already, Bryant Powerhouse Racing is sending me some stuff to get it resolved, and I'm also going to delete one of the cam sensors, which my harness actually doesn't use the rear cam sensor. It only uses the middle cam sensor, which is the most sensitive from what I'm told, or most accurate. Whatever, that's the one I'm using, and I think pretty much every EMS uses those setup. I mean, I can always switch it to the rear, but every EMS is set up to use the middle one, so fuck it. Anyways. And I cursed again. Man, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. Crap. Anyways, yeah, so that's where we're at right now, and keep going with the build. I got really frustrated last time. I think it's because I've done it so many times now, and I think anyone else has been there. I still am frustrated. I really don't want to yank out the motor, but I had so many people hit me up, so dude, let's do it in a weekend. We can knock that out. I don't want to rush it either. What sucks too is when you do the lower pan, it's not so bad because you just pop up the pan, scrape everything off, put it back on. When you do the upper pan, I have to take off the front oil pump and all that stuff, scrape that clean now. So that's where I'm kind of like a little irritated. I mean, that's a brand new oil pump, not even 500 miles on it yet, and I got to scuff that down and make sure that doesn't leak now. You know, that's where I'm like, God, like seriously, like I'm just frustrated. I just don't feel like doing those things again, and I'm afraid one of those to leak now. I really don't want the front pump to leak now. That's where I have fear. So, and I don't want to even replace the pans and think that one of those may leak again. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. Cruise week is coming up, boys and girls. I hope you're ready. I will be there. If you see me or if you want to meet up with me, let me know. There is a Supra meetup down there. I go to it every year. If you want to see me, I will be there. Don't be afraid. Hit me up on my Facebook page or send me a direct message on Instagram. I prefer Facebook as it's easier to keep track of. Instagram doesn't really send you a notice. Like nothing pops up on it where Facebook does. I don't know why Instagram does that, or maybe my settings are screwed up, but I have no idea until I go get into my Instagram. And when I'm at the beach, I'll be honest, I really don't focus on my phone that much, so I would recommend if you're trying to get a hold of me, try through Facebook. I can at least physically see that there's a message in there waiting for me. So please hit me up, guys, if you're down there. I'd love to meet up with as many of y'all as I can. Sorry for any wind noise right now. I apologize, but yeah, cruise week. Let's do this. So, guys, that's going to be it for this one. You heard my frustrations. Unfortunately, the dye trick does work, and it works very well. I recommend it to anyone looking for an oil leak. Definitely do it. It's $5 and you buy a light for $15 to $20. Just make sure it is a proper UV light, and you'll find your leak quick and in a hurry. Trust me, you can't miss it where it's leaking from. So, yeah. So give it a try, guys, and thank you very much as usual. Go down below, smack the like button on both my Facebook page and my Instagram. I am on there constantly, and I'm always posting updates way before I even get to YouTube because I'm impatient. So go hit that stuff, guys, and I will talk to you later. Let's go chug a beer now, bitches.